brilliant speed with vibrant service. Vibrant Broadband Internet.
Guess what? It's Wednesday. Guess what? It's 10:30. Guess what? It's Vibrant U.
It is time for Vibrant U. Thank you, Jeff, for having us.
Yep.
My name is Shane.
I'm Nathan.
And I'm Bo.
And we have Nathan and Bo in studio today.
How about that, huh?
Yeah.
The Three Stooges.
Right. And we've had them on the show every week, obviously. But they have home offices, and so they work from home a little bit more often. And
You have to use the internet for that, right?
We do.
well, and we use Vibrant. That's the key right there.
Wow. Amazing
Right?
how that works.
Yeah. So today we are hosting a happy hour with Vibrant for local businesses at the Litchfield Legion, right in town here. It's a thank you for businesses that have us and an introduction for those that don't. So, come on down. We invite you to come down today between 4 and 6 p.m. And enjoy some appetizers and a beverage on us and mingle with us and, talk Vibrant or talk weather, whichever.
Yeah, it's not going to be a high pressure sales. It's really meant to just kind of hang out and kind of get to know businesses and you get to know us and all that stuff. So
Exactly. And so speaking of business and Vibrant, we're going to talk about just that on today's show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Topical.
And where it all starts is really just with the fiber connection with Vibrant. So we have a ton of businesses that have been connected with our fiber, and we have a lot of builds going on right now that are going to be passing a ton of businesses as well. So that's the, kind of the main thing that we like to talk with businesses about is just looking at their speed that they have, what kind of connection. A lot of it's DSL, older, copper wiring, some of it's wireless, some of it's coax cable, but the fiber is just, it's the up-to-date, it's new technology. It's just capable of keeping up with the needs of today. Businesses 10, 15 years ago really didn't need as much speed as they do now, and fast forward 10 years, you're probably going to need even more then. And we're going to help out with all the equipment, which we're going to go into a little bit. Just starting with the router. I mean, our equipment is, something we can look at in-house. We can fix any issues. We can log into it and see. So you don't have to really, look at any equipment yourself. We're going to handle it kind of from start to finish. And then Nathan's going to go into, what makes that better than some of the other technology.
Yeah, so like why fiber? What's the difference? People have probably maybe heard the word fiber by now. A lot of companies are, promoting fiber connection, stuff like that. So why is it better than cable or DSL, which we've had for a long time? So DSL was originally designed to be phone connections. That's why DSL is probably the oldest technology that most people readily have in their homes or businesses. But there's serious limitations to the internet speed, reliability, some of that stuff. I mean, with DSL and with coax cable, the further down the line you are, the worse your service is going to be. Depending on how much internet your neighbors are using before you on the line, your internet experience is going to be worse. There's only so much speed you can get with that technology. So there's a lot of reasons that the cable and DSL are becoming outdated in today's world. Today we use the internet for virtually everything, and it's only going to get more and more. So having the fastest and best connection is becoming more and more important. With fiber, you can get symmetrical speeds, which basically means you have equal download and upload speed, which you can't get with coax cable or DSL. You get much lower upload speed, and it's just going to be faster, more reliable, more secure. Security is a big thing, obviously, in today's world, especially on the internet, to stay secure, stay safe. With fiber, you're going to be the most secure possible. So there's a number of reasons. Like I said, fastest, most reliable is probably the two most common. But a lot of people they have what they have because they've had it for a long time. They haven't known any better. Believe me, it can be better. If you're using some of these older technologies, you may not know some of the issues you're having that can be solved by a better connection.
I remember when I first switched from a DSL connection to fiber, and I thought my DSL connection was fine, and I was kind of living through it. And then once I got hooked up to Vibrant Fiber, I couldn't believe the difference. I thought I had good internet before, but then it's like, oh, I guess I didn't have the best internet prior to fiber. So there's also in our system a fixed wireless option, and if you're not on a fiber line, we have businesses that are connected to our fixed wireless service, and what that is, it's towers that we have in our service area, and we have fiber fed to each one of those towers, and on that tower there's a radio signal that goes from that tower to your home or business, and it's a one-hop system, so it's just that one wireless connection to your home. Of course, you have your Wi-Fi inside there, But that is also as fast as fiber. It's different than other technologies out there. And some other wireless technologies, they use a tower to tower to tower system. So your wireless signal is jumping from one to the next tower to get back to a hard line, so to speak, right? Every one of those hops adds what's called latency. And latency is your speed. So as you add up those latencies, pretty soon you could be, a third of a second or a half a second every time you try to click something, and that's why you feel like the internet's slow. With our system, that latency is immediate because it's just that one hop. And really, a wireless signal is the speed of light.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, because it's all light. Radio signals are just a different spectrum of the light spectrum. So it is all the speed of light. So our wireless system is a good connection for businesses as well.
Yeah, and people always ask, what does this mean for my business? What can I do with it? Maybe they're thinking about expanding, and we can grow with them. And like Shane was mentioning, he didn't know the difference between having fiber and not having fiber until he had it. And we had one business that they had a system that they would use every day, and they would look up parts, and once they switched over, they're like, oh, I didn't realize that the system was slow. I just thought that's how long it took. They've been using that for years, and as soon as they got fiber, they're like, it just opened up their whole day, really. So it's you don't know what you're missing until you have it. And we just like to be able to future-proof businesses for a future expansion. We can scale with them. You can get fiber, and you don't have to worry about, hey, if I get this many employees, I'm gonna have to get a new internet provider. Once fiber's in, you're good to go from there.
Yeah, so Vibrant, also a very important part of our business is we offer phone solutions as well. Virtually every business has a phone. I mean, there may be some businesses that don't want any kind of business phone, but most do, and no two phone systems are alike. Every business operates differently, needs different things out of their phone. Some of them, maybe a small business, the phone rarely rings, and they just need to hit a voicemail, and that's all it does. Some more complex businesses need to do call transferring, maybe send calls to their cell phones, do a lot more sophisticated things with their phone system. So no matter what your business needs to do with your phone, Vibrant can help. We have our line replacement, what we call line replacement service, where we just can provide phone, like dial tone phone service. If you have phones that you love, you already bought all the phone equipment and you like how it works, we can provide the dial tone into that phone system and just replace your current provider that way. Or if you're looking for new phones, more features, you've heard, I want to be able to get some of my business calls on my cell phone when I'm in the field. I want to be able to text message from my business number. I want to be able to transfer calls just to my coworker down the building here, and I can't do that with my current phones. We have what we call hosted phone service, where we can put in new phones. We manage it, we set it up, we install it, we train you how to use it. You can customize it like crazy. You can make changes as you need to. With today's technology, you don't need a big giant brain box that you put in your back room, and you can't really make any changes after that. Here, it's all IP based, which basically means it's internet based, which means it's kind of a la carte. We can, hey, add this, add that. Next week, I might want to try it this way. Last week I did it this way, didn't really like it. So there's a lot more customization, there's a lot more freedom, there's a lot more features. Depending on how big or small you are, this may work for you, may not. And similarly, we also do what we call managed services.
Yeah. So Nathan, if I'm a small business or a medium-sized business, and I want the internet, the Vibrant internet, and I want to have like a firewall or like a network system that maybe helps within my business, but I don't have an IT department. How do we solve that?
Yeah, so Vibrant, we added managed services about 2 years ago now, where we can bridge that gap between some of those medium or smaller businesses that can't afford to have a full-time IT department that handles all the connections to their devices. We're talking internet to your computers, your phones, your anything that connects to the internet in a business. That could be anything, credit card readers, all kinds of stuff. So with Vibrant's managed services, we're going to provide, a firewall, which is going to protect your equipment, if you're running credit cards and you don't have a firewall, you're putting yourself and your customers at huge risk, because credit card fraud and data stealing is all too common, unfortunately. So firewalls, we provide network switches, where if you want to connect, you have 30 computers in your building and you need them all hardwired in, you're going to need a switch that can handle that many connections. And then probably the biggest thing these days, so many things are wireless. We can provide obviously Wi-Fi solutions, and we're talking professionally mounted, Wi-Fi units that are mesh, that are maybe spread out through your whole business, so you can seamlessly walk around. Whether it's a restaurant and you're coming from one end to the other, you're going out on the patio, you need your POS, handheld POS system to work, or you're in a big warehouse business and you need your system to work no matter where you are in the warehouse. We can provide a solid connection, because there is a big difference between your internet, which is Vibrant going to provide your internet, or your internet provider provides internet, but you also need the network to connect all your devices. It'd be like having the most expensive, fastest car in the world, but you don't have the proper fuel to get it to run, or something like that. You don't have the proper key to get it started. So
Exactly.
You can have fiber internet, but if your Wi-Fi doesn't reach where you need it to, it's basically useless to you.
And there's a lot of places too that have like a guest Wi-Fi password that you can log on to the Wi-Fi on your phone and actually get better service, like especially inside of a building, than your phone would get using its own carrier.
For sure. And we have a lot of businesses that want to provide Wi-Fi to their customers, that are in there. And there's a way to do it securely. You don't really generally want them on your main network, because unfortunately, if you get a bad actor in there that connects to your network, they may have access to some of your devices. Well, with Vibrant's managed services, we can completely separate that traffic. So any guest connections are handled on one end. All your business stuff is handled in a different section, so they're not going to, cross over. There's not going to be any security risks, stuff like that. So this is stuff that small businesses and medium-sized businesses can't generally handle on their own, or maybe it's out of their league, or they just can't afford to hire full-time people to do it, and that's where our managed services kind of bridge that gap.
Nice.
Yeah, and we're always here to support you. So I know a lot of those small businesses, if you ask who their tech support guy is, it may be someone's nephew's cousin that they just call up when they have questions.
Or who's the youngest person that works here.
Yeah, right. If you're born after this year, you can be the IT guy.
Yeah.
But we have IT guys at our office that you can always call. We have priority support for businesses. So if there's any kind of issues, or you want to make any, like Nathan mentioned, if you want to change something on your phone system, you can give us a call at any point. We have guys that are dedicated to doing that. And we're local. So, I mean, if you even want to stop in and say hi and, do that in person, you definitely can. So, yeah, we're always there to help out with any issues that pop up, or any questions that you may have.
So why should a business choose Vibrant? And Bo just said one of the reasons right there is that we are local, and if something, your business has 24/7 priority with us. So if your business, if the internet's down for whatever reason, give us a call, and we can usually have somebody within an hour to your place. And that way your business is back up and running, and that's something we monitor our systems all the time. The other thing is that we are always looking at the latest and greatest technologies to make sure our system is current and up to date, and that helps your business as well. So and we know that if your business relies on internet, we want to provide that. So those are just a couple of reasons why you should choose Vibrant.
Yeah, I hear it all the time from businesses that aren't used to, they're having an issue, or they have a question, they want to maybe add something, change something. They can just call me. They say, Nathan's who I work with, I can call him back, or I can call Dave, who works with our phone systems for our businesses. I have Dave's direct email. I can reach out to him directly, where with some of these bigger businesses, you got like 1-800 number, you have like a random office number, you're going to talk to somebody different possibly every time, kind of re-explain your situation, re-explain what your business does. You kind of start from square one every time. Here, like I said, it's a local. Some of you might know the person. You might see him at the store. You may be able to reach out and say, hey, Dave, I know we talked about this a couple months ago. Do you remember? And I talked to some people that call me and say, I'm so-and-so. We worked last year. They try to re-explain everything. I'm like, I know who you are. We worked together for months to get you set up. You don't have to re-explain everything. Let's get stuff figured out. So it's just different than a lot of you get with some big businesses. And, we've helped a lot of businesses obviously convert with fiber internet, phone, all that stuff. We've had several here on the radio station, KLFD. We had Prospects, Miller Auto here in town, Minnesota Beer Company in Grove City, Ramsey Printing here in town, more businesses than that, and more that we plan to have as well. We love highlighting local businesses that do business with us, that we do business with. It's a great opportunity for all of us. Speaking of which, we have our business event tonight. Happy hour at the Legion, just like 2 doors down from the radio station here.
That's right.
4 to 6 o'clock. Stop in. Like I said, it's not a pressure event. There's going to be some prizes. Grab a drink on us. Hang out. Certainly, if you have questions about your service, if you're an existing Vibrant subscriber or you're interested and you have questions, we're there to answer those. But like I said, it's not a hard sales pitch. It's really meant to be kind of a relaxed environment, give out some prizes, stuff like that. If you go ahead.
No, I was going to say,
Yeah.
good. If I get off the golf course in time, I'll be there.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, swing by.
Yeah, and that's big business, small business. If you're an employee in a business, you don't have to be the CEO of the business or
Right.
the top dog. Just stop on in. Everybody works at a business. We love talking about how your business is going, stuff like that. And if you have any questions, call us 693-3231 or visit our website at vibrantbroadband.com.
Yeah. And you can always catch the replays on our Facebook page or YouTube channel. If you wanted to, share this with somebody else, you can always hop on there.
All right, that's it for today. And thank you, Jeff, for having us.
Absolutely.
Thank you, KLFD, and thank you, audience, for listening. Again, businesses come on down 4 to 6 p.m. today at the Legion in Litchfield. My name is Shane,
I'm Nathan.
And I'm Bo.
and this has been another Vibrant U Live.
Vibrant Broadband Internet. Vibrant Broadband Internet.